Hi, I'm Reverend Grace, and this is the companion video to the video that I've made on the traditional prayers of praying the Rosary. I have been praying the Rosary now since 2021, I think. We're now in 2025, so quite a while, and I have a confession to make. I'm not Catholic, that's not my confession. When I pray the Rosary, initially, when I started praying it, I knew the Hail Mary prayer somehow. Didn't have to look it up. Not sure how that is. I did go to a school that used to be a convent, and the nuns retired and moved over the road. And we had Father Kilgareth, and he came every Sunday and did a lovely mass service. But I don't remember. None of us were praying the Rosary. I don't remember. I'm not quite sure how I got the prayer. But anyway, when I first started praying the Rosary properly or seriously in 2021, when it became a regular practice for me, I didn't do the Glory Be and all the Our Fathers. So yeah, and I also didn't really know about, I knew of the mysteries and the passions, but not anything in depth. And yeah, so I just had my beads. This is the first, this is just, I just think it's the most gorgeous rosary. It's literally got little roses all the way through on the big beads. Some of them are a bit snapped off on the leaves. I don't know what it's made of. It's like some old original Fimo kind of a stuff. It's old, not old, but it's from 1900 and something, and came from France. I got it on eBay from someone who bought it in France. I've never seen one like it before. I've seen a lot of rosaries years ago and in recent years, and I feel very lucky. One of its little things is snapped off. Do you know what? It really doesn't matter. This is anyway, I could waffle on about that for ages, and it came to me. There's other stories about this white rose thing, but that's way down the line. Another story for another day. So just quickly, in case you're new to this or you just want to know, the run of it. Start with the crucifix, Father, Son, Holy Bit, crossing the body. First bead, Lord's Prayer. Hail Mary on the next, Hail Mary on the next, Hail Mary on the next, and Glory Be. And then we start with Our Father, and when we do Hail Marys 10 times all the way through these, and then Glory Be, and then Our Father, and on we go around for the 5 decades. I would say that praying the Rosary in the traditional way, I do not always pray it in this way now. I definitely don't do the Our Fathers and the Glory Bees, but this series of Rosary prayer videos will go through that, use the word journey, in the last few years, how praying the Rosary has changed for me, and part of that has been guided by Mary herself. Sounds like a big claim, but anyway, that's another story too. Not one for these videos, well, not for now. So there's one thing, the Rosary is, I'm not Catholic. I do have a faith. I do attend C of E Church as a server. I am an interfaith minister, so my beliefs don't really fit in, all in I can't fit into any one faith or religious box. The word religion has such a tricky thing for people these days, but there is definitely something greater than us, and I think there's a lot of people trying to find meaning. And I think a good starting point, especially with people are feeling so much fear or feeling unsettled in the world today, this is praying to Mother Mary is definitely it's a good practice. People talk about grounding. It's a good thing to get in the center of yourself. It's a nice time of the day. It takes you X amount of time to pray this, so you are sort of setting aside 30 minutes pretty much to pray this. And I think that one word that some people within this prayer might struggle with, who want to pray the Rosary, but they struggle associating themselves with the word sinner. Some people might have a bit of a struggle with that, or because they don't think of themselves as a dirty, rotten sinner. And I think that's the sort of terminology we've got used to, like, oh, back in the day, of those strict, especially in Catholicism. You know, you hear about brutal nuns and all the rest of it. Damnation, fire and fury and God-fearing and all that sort of thing. It's from a time that people don't... it's not resonating with people these days. I know there are a lot of people now that are of the feeling, the opinion, the belief that, you know, how we're not fallen, or we're God's creation, so therefore we're not born as sinners. It's not sinning as in absolutely reprimanding yourself. I think it's us learning now that it's to learn lessons from our mistakes, to review our lives, to you know, along the way, and to adjust our behaviour, or at least try to. I tend to think, just thinking about my own life, I think, okay, so understanding that sin comes from, it's a word that comes from archery. That was more disco dancing than archery, but anyway. And it means missing the mark. And I think that we all do that. So it's not a case of like, oh, I'm a naughty, rotten, dirty sinner. It's a thing of like, oh, okay, having a reflect and thinking, oh yeah, could have done that a bit better. Could have maybe not reacted in that way. But I think maybe, you know, contemplate that. I certainly, I've gone through phases of having an issue with the sinner thing, and then I actually know if I'm going to say the prayer, I'm going to say the prayer. And I do put sinners in. So yeah, I'm not a dirty, rotten sinner. I'm just an ordinary human being that makes mistakes, and that's a part of my learning. It's a part of all our learning. But I do acknowledge that, the same as all of us, I miss the mark. So yeah, I don't have an issue with saying sinners anymore. We are all of God's creation. That is amazing. Are we God's creation? Anyway, that's another thing that I'm still currently discerning and contemplating, what the structure of it is. I thought I knew, and then you think you... Anyway, that's the path of study I'm on. You can think you know something, and then you learn something else, and then you think, oh, okay, this is the path we're all on. And if you're not, get on it, because I tell you what, it's fascinating. People bang on about spiritual practice. This would be a spiritual practice. And I think whether it's spending some time in meditation, or whether it's... And this can be a kind of what it's doing for you and the settling of your mind, focusing on one thing. This is definitely a kind of a meditation. It takes you to a place where your brain is operating on this, and not all the buzzing, this and that is constantly rushing through our mind all of the time. It's like meditation. It's not about completely clearing your brain. It's about focusing on one point, and in time, in different ways of meditation. I'm probably teaching you to suck eggs here, but in case I'm not, it's not about stopping all those thoughts. It's about just quietening the mind and getting in touch with what's inside. Even though you're constantly speaking and saying the prayers, the Catholics, who pray the Rosary, and they pray through the Passions, through the the story of what happened with Mary and Jesus and him coming to be crucified and that sort of thing, the sorrows and the joys, and they pray on the mysteries each at certain days of the week. You can look up the pattern. There's lots about this on the internet. They're praying through those decades in a state of saying the prayer, but also at the same time meditating on that part of the sorrows, or whatever the day is. And that can sound quite difficult, like you're confusing your mind with two things. That, I would say, is a case of practice. I don't do it like that. Sometimes my brain does go towards, say, a point in the crucifixion. I'm not, because I'm doing it on a certain day, just because it does enter into my mind to do that. But I do definitely, because I've prayed this for so many years, in whatever words I'm using, I am saying these words along these beads with reverence, and not just whizzing through it, but my mind is thinking on meditating on other things, and I'm not meaning those thoughts that come through like, oh, I meant to get cat food. I don't know why I said that. I don't even have a cat. You know, the mundane things of the day. My mind is playing and toying with contemplating generally things to do with Mary, or where I'm at along what I'm learning about, or what I'm discerning at a present time, in spiritual terms. I do find it quite easy. That's not a difficulty, and it's not a distraction. You can do these two things at the same time. So it's not the first thing that I don't leap out of bed and start praying my rosary, but usually before I start work, my working day, I will have prayed my rosary. And what I do really find, it does set me up for the day. It puts me in a place of stillness or calm, a feeling of being at peace. Sometimes it's, or quite often, it's a feeling. It is a feeling of joy. It's a conversation with Mary. This is a special practice. There's very good reason why this has been around for a really long time, and there is some history to show that there was prayer beads, and that this was especially a women's practice before rosary beads as we know it, and the rosary prayer, the Hail Marys, begun. So that maybe that's a video that I should do in future. Maybe that's something that you want to know more about. So pop that down in the comments. Do ask any questions. I'd love to get some conversations going, and amongst yourselves as well. But yeah, enjoy this practice. Take it up. Give it a go. Persist with it. It does take time to just sort of become natural with the things. If I've already made other videos here in this playlist, obviously this is the first one, then have a look down there, and maybe this is not the way that you want to pray it. Maybe you want to look out for, or look down for, how this prayer has progressed, and find another way that resonates with you, or sets you on your path of praying your rosary. Okay, so yeah, peace be with you.